Alright, so today we're going to learn on how to take the throttle sensor out of the handlebar for the ES2. First off, got this rubber piece. Just got to slide this off. It's going to require some elbow grease though. Give it a few little twists, turns. Just really try to unsnug it. Alright, next you're going to need a 3mm hex wrench, and there's a little hole right here where the screw is. Just going to go in there and loosen that up, take it out. Put the screw aside, don't lose it. Alright, so once you're done with that, you got two inner screws in here that you're also going to take out. Alright, and then you're gonna grab this black piece, like so. Take that out, put it aside. And what you want to do is get in here and carefully push the front light out, front headlight. And you got a little connector here, just try and get this. Just pull it apart. And then you actually have two more screws in there. Those are Phillips head screws, so you need to go get a Phillips head. Preferably, you might want a magnetic screwdriver so it could come out with it. Alright, and what those two screws did is loosen this up. So what you want to do, get your 3mm hex wrench, and there's going to be a hole right here where you're just going to insert and gently push out. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, just be careful it doesn't just shoot out. Alright, so just be careful because you will have wires running through. There's a little rubber gasket you want to just put aside. Looks like that. Alright, so there's two separate pieces. You're going to kind of want to push that bottom piece down. And then you'll see black, green, and red wires, and black, blue and red wires. You're gonna take the one with the green wire, and you're just gonna carefully undo that, same way you did the headlight. There's a little hole that'll feed through. Just be careful. Make sure it goes through, and then you slide both these pieces out. Well, there'll be this little metal piece in there. You just want to keep that there. And also this has a little slit holding this in place, so you also want to be careful of that. So this is your throttle, and that's how you disconnect it. Next, we're going to show you on how to put a new one on. Alright, so now we're going to put back the throttle, the newly replaced throttle. So what you're gonna do, everything in reverse, just slide that through, make sure everything matches up, and then just gonna wanna fit this on like that. Careful to slide that in. Can be a little tricky. Be useful if you have pliers or anything small to kind of wedge this out of the hole. Sometimes you can get lucky, just do it with your hands. Now what you want to do is find the other side that you disconnected earlier, connect it back in. So what you're going to do is actually push these, once you connect it, push these back in through the little hole here. Once you get them into that hole, take a rubber gasket and just separate the wires so you can slide them into each slit that is on here. So the rubber gasket, you just put slits out. So you'll notice the other side is solid, so you just want to push that in there. Alright, so to help you along a little bit better, it's usually easier if you take your brake throttle and you loosen this up as well, so you can kind of pull this back so the wires actually fit in, or else it'll get stuck right where you're trying to go. So the gasket's in here. This is your headlight wire, so you just want to stick that through this hole and then carefully just center that back in. And don't force it too much. If you feel like if it's not going in, it won't go in, don't force it. And just try to get it back inside, it's all snug, so it's flush with the metal part of the handlebar. Alright, so now that it's all nice and flush with the rest, you want to take your two throttles that you loosened, if you did end up needing to, loosen this one. If not, then just tighten this one back up. So we're going to take our screw, put it right there. Remember 3 millimeters. Just like that. Tighten that one. And then you want to glide these back into place. This one. And if you notice, there's a little indentation here that will fit through this slot, so just match those two up. They go on easier than they come off. And then back down here, you have your Phillips screw with your Phillips screwdriver. Again, preferably magnetic, it's easier to get in. Tighten that up. Alright. And then you want to grab connector for the headlight. Just connect these. And by the way, none of these little connectors have a little flap or anything, or like, so you don't have to press down on anything. You just pull it out and push it in. And then the way you insert it is this hole has to face up this way. So you just push that in. Careful of the wires. Make sure it's flush. You might have to hold it in place while you put this back on. You'll notice that there's a clip right here that goes into that hole I pointed out earlier. And what you want to do, hold this wire down. There's another indentation specifically made. So, as best as you can, just straight down. Might take you a few tries. Like so. Make sure it's really on there. And then tighten these up. And once you have those tightened up, that's it. You've successfully replaced your throttle on your handlebar, and once you're done, just connect it like you normally would to the rest of the scooter, and you should be on your way to having fun on your ES2.